Okay, so today we have to start from identity theft. What is identity theft means? Identity theft means you are stealing someone's identity, and you are pretending that person, and you are presenting in on behalf of that person, but without his or her information. So this is known as identity theft. Suppose if I'll make a fake profile of someone on social networking site, and I'll use that profile. I also use the picture of that child, or maybe that person. So this type of crime is known as identity theft. School kids are increasingly reporting this type of theft by creating the fake profiles of their friends. even if i'll uh, even if I'll accessing some resources with the identity of someone else. Suppose like the government is saying, if you will show your Aadhaar card number and your Aadhaar card, then only vaccination you can get yourself vaccinated of from coronavirus. So if you are not having your own Aadhaar card, and you are using somebody else's Aadhaar card to get that resource, so this is also a type of identity theft. So, how can we prevent ourselves from identity theft? We should not disclose any of our personal information, because somebody can misuse that information also, like email address, phone numbers, photos. We should not even upload photos on social networking sites, because somebody may take the screenshots, and somebody can misuse that photos, and they can make a fake accounts, and in which they can also upload the same pictures. So your friends may get confused that which is your profile and which is the fake one. If you are doing some transactions online, make sure to use your home computer, because internet cyber cafe computers are attached with they have installed keylogger software. And what is the use of this keylogger software? It used to track all the keys which you are pressing with the help of keyboard. So sometimes you must have noticed, when we do any online transaction through a bank account of a bank account using internet banking, so that while at the time of login, it will also show a virtual keyboard over there, so that you can do the entry of your ID and password using that virtual keyboard. This is because they wants to protect you from the this crime, from identity theft, so that somebody can should not be able to track your information if you have any keylogger software installed on the device. Do not attempt to click on any unwanted links, or open any links or attachment from untrusted source. If you are receiving anything from a person which whom you don't know, don't try to open these types of links and attachment in your device, because it can consist of some malicious content, or maybe the virus which may get installed into your system, and it may harm your system then. Next is, what is hacking? Uh, hacking means you are trying to fetch the details of someone else without his or her permission. Like, for example, if you will crack the password of my system to access some information, to access some files from my system, so this is known as hacking. Hacker is a person who seeks and exploit weakness in a computer system. So he will try to access the files from the system or from the computer network to get access to these files. And the person who is doing all these things, that person is known as hacker. Now there is a lot of confusion between hacker and cracker. What is the difference? That also we will understand. Now hacker can use different set of tools and program. It is not compulsory that a hacker will always guess what will be the correct password to log in into that system. He may also use some set of tools or programs or softwares to achieve his objective. Cracking password using tools to gain entry into someone's personal account, using social engineering methods means there are some software which automatically try many different types of, they'll ask you some questions about that person whose system you wants to access, and according to the information gathered, he will apply some rules, and he'll guess the password. So these are social engineering methods. creating sending viruses worms on the network, installing software in computer to get access to personal information of the people who log into those computer. So these are the types of hacking procedures. Creating fake e-commerce website, this is also a part of hacking. Like suppose if I have a website in which people used to, like suppose every bank is having a website. So if I'll create a fake website of any one of the banks, suppose PNB bank, only the first page I'll create where people used to log in. So now if, and I have done the setting something like this, that if somebody will search for a PNB bank, then my site will come first. So people will log in or enter their details, their credentials, ID and password into that, and I'll fetch that information from there, because it's not a original site, it's a fake site. So creating e-commerce websites, e-commerce means where you are doing the online transactions. और मे बी सपोज लाइक मिंत्रा की कोई फेक साइट बना दी या फिर अमेजोन की बना दी, इनका मेन पेज बना दिया फ्रॉम वेयर यू आर डूइंग द ट्रांजेक्शन, you are selecting your products and you are doing the transactions, but the transaction page is not original. So they can also gain entry to saver, which have websites containing information of credit cards of clients or customer. So these clients and their customers information will get leaked. So this is also a type of hacking. Next is, now how can you be a victim of a hacking in your daily life? First is when you give your pen drive in cyber cafe for printout, they may have installed some type of software which will automatically copy the content from your pen drive and paste it in the system without your consent and knowledge. You will not be even aware of key something is happening like this at the back end. So if you are taking your pen drives to cyber cafe for any type of printout, make sure your pen drive should not consist of any of your personal detail, any of your private documents. There could be a keylogger software installed in their system which may record the keystrokes which you will press on their computer. So you should not access your email account, your bank account, your Facebook account, your debit and credit card information on any of the like public computers. You can use your home computer, you can use the computer where, where you can trust. Maybe it may be of your relative or maybe of your friend whom you can trust, so you can access your accounts over there, but not on cyber cafes. Even if you are surfing on internet in cyber cafe in public places, somebody in the network, he may be keeping an eye on you, where you are going, which page you are visiting, what you are watching. So he may be watching all your activities which you are doing. So you should not open anything which is not which seems to be not safe for you. Even while chatting on social networking site, never click on any link or install software sent by unknown persons, because it may install Trojan horse program in your in your system, and which may access your personal information. Now, if somebody has hacked your profile or if somebody has created your fake profile, how can we respond to that? Make sure your computer has a firewall installed and configured an antivirus software, and keep it updated regularly. Because if there will be no firewall, then any type of links can appear on your screen, and firewall on करने का मतलब है you are safe from every side. From you are not able to open any unsafe site, because your system will protect you. Okay, now how can we on this firewall? You will go to control panel and view by category, change it to large icons. Now there is an option of Windows firewall, click on this. Now by default, the firewall in my system is already on, which is always recommendable, but you can make it off also, which is not at all recommendable. So if you will on your firewall, the unwanted traffic will not come. Unwanted traffic means uh, Unwanted advertisements or unwanted pop-ups will not appear on your screen. So you should always keep this firewall on in your system. If not, you will check it today and make it on. Okay, next is do not keep your broadband internet switched on all the times, or if like most of the time we used to do like this only. Broadband internet, if we have at our home, it will remain switch on all the times. If you have to keep it switch on all the time, you should make sure that you should have a strong password for your internet, for your Wi-Fi, so that somebody else cannot access your internet. Make sure you choose a difficult password for a wireless modem if you are using the one. Do not share your personal computer or laptop with any untrusted people. If you have if you have to share, then monitor his or her activities, whatever the activities he is doing on your system. Now, what is the difference between a hacker and a cracker? Most of the time, we think that they both are the same person. No, they don't. A hacker is a person who is also known as white hat people, and cracker is black hat people. Black hat people and white hat people means uh, black hat hacker means the person who will misuse your information after gathering your personal details. He is going to misuse your information, maybe because of the monetary gain, or maybe because of the resources. So for any in any way he can misuse your personal information. And hacker is a person who is trying to access your personal details, but he is not going to misuse your information, because hackers are the professionals. Maybe they are hired by a company, and they are hired just to check the uh, the weaknesses of the system. Like suppose I have created a ATM machine today, so I'll check what are the weaknesses of this ATM machines, how easily somebody can access or retrieve the money from this ATM. To check this, if I'll call a person who is professional in this thing, that person will be known as hacker. But if that person will leak this information to someone else, then he will become a cracker, because he, for his monetary gains, he is leaking that information, that how can we break the password of this ATM machine, how can we withdraw the money from this ATM machine without inserting the card and without entering the correct pin. So if he is going to leak that information, then only he will be treated as a cracker. Otherwise he will remain hacker, because he is protecting you from the weakness, from the vulnerabilities in your system. So their main motive is to make the system more stronger. So this is a difference between a hacker and a cracker. Hacker basically fight against odds, and cracker challenge hacker. They used to challenge hacker that you have done this security, or see, I can also break this type of security features. Hacker is a person who is having a deep knowledge about the latest and oldest exploits. So he is experienced in this field. But cracker is a person who is not having much details, but he is doing everything on hit and trial basis. So if he will try to enter a password, if it if he will be able to access, or he will be succeeded in that, then he will be a cracker. So he is doing everything on hit and trial basis. Cracker is a person who is doing all the thing, because he is not having much knowledge about whatever he is doing. So like suppose students are also having some curiosity about how to hack a profile, or how to hack a computer. So if you are having curiosity and you are not misusing the information after hacking somebody's else machine, if you are not misusing that information, then you will be treated as a hacker. But if you will misuse that information, then only you will be treated as a cracker. Okay, now what is Google two-step security? Google two-step security means uh, Google always provide this facility so that if you will try to access your Google account somewhere else, like suppose I used to open my Google account on my laptop always, but if I'll go to some public place or maybe in the school and in the lab I'll try to access my Gmail account, then Google will provide me two-step security. Two-step security means it will first send a message on my phone on my account number maybe, which is already registered, the mobile number which is already registered. So if I'll approve that message, then only I'll be able to access my Gmail account in that device. So it will ask me that you are going to log in from this system at this place. Is it you? So if I'll approve that message, then only I can access my account in that system. Otherwise, Google will not allow me to access. And it can be Google can also check like this. Google can send me a number which will get displayed on my mobile number, on my registered mobile number, and there will be 3 4 numbers which will be displayed on the screen where I'm trying to access my account. So if I'll choose the correct number from there, which should be matching with my number which I receive on my phone, then only Google will allow me to access my account over there. Otherwise it will reject. So this is known as Google two-step security. And for this, what you have to do is you have to register yourself for Google two-step security. And how can you register yourself? You have to enter for this. You have to enter your email ID, maybe a backup email ID or the registered mobile number only, so that Google can send you the messages on your registered mobile number or maybe the other account, the Gmail account which with which you are going to connect yourself. Next is now journal rules to stay on the right side of the law. So because all these things are illegal, we cannot do hacking, and we can, if we are doing identity theft, this is also a part of cyber crime. So how can we protect ourselves from getting involved in these types of crimes? The first thing is download files legally. Do not download pirated music, softwares, or anything. So you should always use the uh, files with the license or the software with license only. Do not open or do not download these types of pirated music, movies, or softwares. Use web content honestly. Do not claim the copyrighted things. Avoid, because if you will use somebody's else content, suppose I have uploaded a video and now you have downloaded that video and you are using it as your own video, so this is also the copyright issue. Here you they can that person can also raise the copyright issue because this is a video which belongs to that person. So avoid plagiarism in homework or assignments. So you should not copy the assignments or homeworks of somebody else while submitting your projects. Use social sites appropriately. Avoid contact with strangers whom you met only online. So if you don't know personally someone, you should not meet with that person. Now what is plagiarism? Plagiarism means copying someone's work without his or her permission. Like, there are most of the student who used to copy somebody's work in the classes. Like suppose your science teacher has given you some homework, next day you will come to school and you will take out the notebook of one of your friend and you'll start copying that work. So this is, and if even that person, if he is not aware of this thing, then this is known as plagiarism. This include information, copying the content from a web page, from a book, from song, from television, email ID, interviews, articles. So if anywhere you are going to copy and you are going to make it your own content, then it is known as plagiarism. So here the chapter ends. You can do the question answers of this chapter in your notebook, and the syllabus is complete now. So in your according to your syllabus, the whole syllabus will be coming in term 2 except one or two chapters. So soon I'll be uploading the syllabus within a week on Atlantic, and most probably by the mid of February you will be having your computer exam, term 2 exam, and by the end of February we will start your final exams, other rest of the subjects. Okay. Now if anybody